All right, let's briefly talk about Scream 7, this new release, the seventh entry in this long running franchise. Way too long running. This is mostly spoiler free. I may go into a thing here and there. And this is also a review from somebody who is famously not a Scream fan. I despise all the sequels. I am not a fan of this franchise. So if you're a Scream fan, it's probably best to just swipe away and not listen to any of this because you're not going to like any of it. So we have Kevin Williamson returning to the franchise and directing this. And it says he co wrote it with Guy Busick. I don't know how much Williamson wrote of this. I know there were a lot of issues in the production stages. I know the whole controversy with Marissa Barrera and firing her, or Melissa Barrera. I don't know why I said Marissa Barrera. Melissa. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Either way, I don't care. So if that's a thing that you're big on too, see you later. So they got rid of her. Ortega ended up leaving too, and some other people, and we ended up getting this. So it seems like there were a lot of issues throughout production and rewrites. So I'm guessing a lot of the script was touched up by Williamson. I don't know this for sure, but a lot of this movie, especially the third act, has Guy Busick's writing written all over it. So I don't know why they decided to have Kevin Williamson direct the movie when he directed like one pretty shitty movie 3 decades ago or so. It didn't make sense to me at the time they announced it. It doesn't make sense now. And it's not good. I could say this right now. This movie is 100% the worst in the franchise. Scream 7 is the worst movie in the entire franchise. I don't remember 3 that much, so I'd put them both together at the bottom. But man, this was fucking rough. Even for someone who, again, despises this whole property. I grew up with the original movie. There are some brilliant scenes and ideas in it. Besides that, every sequel I just think is awful. There's nothing really that grabs me about this franchise. Neve Campbell returns for this movie after being absent for the last one because they didn't want to pay her too much or something like that. Pay her what she's due, and I agree with her on that. Sit it out. Fuck them. She built the entire franchise. She's the face of it. If they're not going to pay you what you're worth, fuck them. Don't come back. David Arquette, they killed off a few movies ago, and I never cared for him as an actor either. And I never cared for the character of Dewey. Courtney Cox as Gail, I never liked her either. I don't like any of the characters in this franchise to begin with. The only character that I've ever slightly enjoyed was Stu and Randy to an extent. So, what happens in Scream 7? We have Sidney with her daughter, who's a teenager now, named Tatum, after obviously her best friend from the original. And Tatum wants to know more about Sydney's past, but Sydney doesn't want to talk about it, which, oh, that's weird because there's literal movies upon movies in the franchise about her and her life, and books written by Gail, and who knows how many true crime podcasts and documentaries that are even mentioned in this movie on everything that's happened. So I don't know why it's so hard for her to find out everything that happened to her mother, but whatever. Sydney is trying to live a nice quiet life with Tatum and her husband, played by Joel McHale, who I really do like as an actor. I wish he had more in this movie. He doesn't really have much of a part. Ghostface starts killing people again. How many times is the same thing going to happen to the same woman? In most slasher franchises, like Friday, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw, you can go on and on. The killer is the returning character. So it makes more sense. Maybe it doesn't always make sense, but it makes more sense that you have, you know, an indestructible killer that always comes back, and you just shuffle the deck and give him new victims. With this whole franchise, it's the same fucking woman and survivor who's been through what, 6 massacres now? All of it just doesn't work for me. The kills, though, in this, while not great, there are a few decent ones. One or two of them are pretty damn good, actually. Biggest positives of the movie. Everything else, the story, where it goes, I did not care for any of it. The reveal and the motives for the killers, the worst in the franchise, without a doubt. It's not even debatable. The worst killer reveal and worst motives in the entire series. What the fuck were they thinking with that? All of the AI and deepfake stuff, that was kind of interesting at first, and I wish that they actually went deeper into it and got more creative with it. Because in the end, all of the AI stuff just ended up feeling like fan service. Just a way to bring back Stu and certain other characters for a very brief amount of time. So all in all, I hated it. I mean, it was terrible on almost all fronts. All the new characters, couldn't give a shit about any of them. The twins ended up coming back, but they're barely in it. It feels like they're in it just to tie this movie to 5 and 6, so it feels a little more connected. But they only have a few scenes and none of them are important. So, Scream 7, if you've seen it, what do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments.